It is more than me. No matter what we are, we're a family. This dream is for all of us. This one can be real. Nothing can stop us now. It's how we feel. It's more than you. It is more than me. Whatever dreams we have, they're for the family. We're not alone anymore. We're all here. That dream is big enough for all of us to share. Don't think you're going. I'm not going anywhere. We're staying, taking our share. If you get afraid again, I'll be there. We are a family. We're a giant tree branching out toward the sky. We are a family. We are so much more than just you and I. We are a family, like a giant tree, growing stronger, growing wiser. We're growing free. We need you. We are a family.
Thank you, Thomas. Thank you very much. Good morning. I'm Diana Winter, excuse me, member of the board. On behalf of the membership, our staff, volunteers, the Board of Trustees, and our speaker today, Thomas Warfield, we welcome all of you here and all of those viewing online from home this morning. We come together to celebrate our unity, our union, our oneness in and of God consciousness. As expression of that holy presence we call God, consciousness, divine spirit, divine mind, source, love, pure substance. We recognize there are many paths to this same source as we enfold all people and all gatherings around the world in heaven's light of love. Unity Rochester Spiritual Center invites you to open your minds and hearts to listen, to learn, and to explore Unity messages. We are here to give you things to think about, but not to tell you what to think. Are there any new members here or new visitors? Anyone else? Raise your hand and someone will come and give you a packet. Okay, that's okay. You'll get a packet. Gives you some information about here. So thank you for joining. Now we're going to say the opening prayer. We become still now as we quiet our mind and turn within to God. Dearest Creator, God, Source, One, I am. We open our minds and hearts to you now as we turn our attention away from external conditions and appearances and humbly seek your presence within. Gathering here together, we come knowing that where two or more are gathered in your name, power and love are present. We come for peace, for love, for the affirmation of our oneness with you and with all creation. We come here with a willingness to remember who we are. We thank you for one another, within whom we recognize our Christ self. And we give thanks for the many daily avenues of grace open to us that help to awaken our soul. So be it, so it is. Amen. So now Carol, our prayer chaplain, is going to bring down the prayer box. So knowing that we are held in loving prayer, help us to turn away from fear and worry. Knowing that we are held in loving prayer helps us to turn away from fear and worry and opens us to trust and gratitude, making way for the highest good to manifest. Anyone can submit a prayer of gratitude or a request for prayer in this box, and our chaplains respond with affirmative and loving care to all that is contained within. Also, these prayers and requests are shared with Silent Unity, where they are held in prayer for 24 hours a day for 30 days. Next, the daily word. My pages got stuck together. Okay. So Joan Yeager is going to read the daily word for us today.
Good morning. Today's word is radiance. Aligned with my divine nature, I am a beacon of light for others. God is the light in my life. I give thanks every day for the wondrous blessings of the divine and the peace and strength I derive from my faith. I am a spiritual being, fully human and fully divine. The light of God shines from within me. My confidence grows as I embrace my divine nature. As I live and love more fully and authentically, the joy within me multiplies, and I become simply radiant. The world can feel dark and dull and needs all the light and sparkle it can get. As greater numbers of people discover the power of God within them and express the fullness of their true spiritual selves, the world will glow with our collective radiance. You will do well to be attentive to this, as to a lamp shining in a dark place, until the day dawns and the morning star rises in your hearts. 2 Peter 1:19.
And now, if we'll come together in the Lord's Prayer. Our Creator, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from error. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory forever. Amen. And now Thomas will sing and play for us, and then he's going to give his message.
Please join us in hymn, I think actually it's 212. It's in hymn number 212. Good morning. It's so good to see you all and to be here on this beautiful day. Wow, the sunshine was um, spectacular. Well, I had a title. This was the title last week. Life becomes dialogue instead of monologue. And all week I kept thinking to myself, what does that mean exactly? So I came up with a better one, I think. From monologue to dialogue, straight to it. I don't even know what this is about. Life becomes dialogue. But from monologue to dialogue kind of makes sense. So, at least it did to me. So, imagine you're sitting at a magnificent banquet, surrounded by the most exquisite food you have ever smelled. You are starving. But there's a catch. Your arms are locked completely straight. You can't bend your elbows, and your utensils, let's say a spoon, are 3 feet long. Every time you try to feed yourself, the food drops. This is hell. Not a pit fire, but a room full of desperate people trying to survive in isolation. Now, change the scene. Same room, same locked arms, same long utensils. But here, the room is filled with laughter and joy and deep satisfaction. Heaven. What changed? The people stopped trying to feed themselves, and instead they reached across the table and fed each other. Hell is the state of trying to serve only the self with the tools that we're given, with the life that we have. In other words, living in monologue is not living together. Heaven, a dialogue with the entire universe, a dialogue with all existence, the energy of all there is. This is realizing that the tool designed to feed another is only the only one that can also feed you. I should say that again because this is the realization that the tool designed to feed another is the only one that can feed you. Serving others secretly nourishes your own spirit. It turns a selfless act into a quiet form of self-love. We cannot grow, heal, or know the true nature in a vacuum. The mirror of other people, the connection, the relationship with another person reveals who you are. That story about the long spoon and feeding comes from an ancient Eastern parable, specifically the Taoist tradition. It reminds us of a profound spiritual truth. We cannot nourish our own souls in isolation. We cannot bloom into our own authenticity without the light of others shining on us, helping us to grow. When we're open to the light around us, we open to the light within us. Today, we are exploring how our relationships with others is actually the catalyst that expands, heals, and enhances our relationship with ourselves. It is really all dialogue. A monologue is a solitary soul singing its inner truth to a quiet universe. It's like an echo of itself. While a dialogue is a sacred bridge where two or more independent worlds collide and blend, translating the silence of separate voices into a shared melody, a symphonic experience of life. In the New Testament scripture, Philippians chapter 2, verse 4, it says, "Let each of you look not only to his own interests, but also to the interests of others." In this chapter, the Apostle Paul is writing from prison to the church in Philippi. He urges the church to find unity through humility, dropping selfish ambition, focusing on shared love, and being of one mind. God did not design human beings to be self-sustaining islands. Otherwise, we would have all been on our own planet, I guess. When we look only at our own interests, the monologue, trying to bend the long spoon backward, we become frustrated, anxious, and spiritually starved. By looking to the interests of others, being in dialogue, relationship, feeding the person across from you, we unexpectedly find our own purpose, our peace, our identity. This is self-discovery through service. There have been many people throughout human history who have given selflessly to humanity, and in that service, discovered their own greatness, their truth as part of the divine. Harriet Tubman risked her life repeatedly to guide enslaved people to freedom via the Underground Railroad. Jonas Salk refused to patent the polio vaccine so it could be distributed globally as soon as possible, and that service saved millions of lives. Oskar Schindler spent his entire fortune and risked his own life to protect over 1,000 Jewish workers during the Holocaust. True self-love and self-understanding are never found by looking inward alone. They are unlocked when we actively love our neighbors. When our inner belief in the love that we are is outwardly expressed. Helen Keller traveled the world campaigning for labor rights, women's suffrage, and systemic support for people with disabilities. All of these people selflessly gave of themselves, of what they knew, of what they had, and in so doing, found the divine greatness of who they were. For those of you who are unaware, I created an organization called Peace Art International in 1990. It was a sort of lofty idea, I guess. It was using the arts to promote world peace. Back in the mid-90s, 3 colleagues and I were doing a peace art project in Raleigh, North Carolina. Part of the project involved working with students in one of the middle schools there. The theme we chose to work on was the rainforest. So I would work with a class on poetry. I had the students come up with words to describe the rainforest, and then they would arrange those words into poems. Shannon and Lori, 2 of my colleagues, worked with a class to develop a story about the rainforest through movement. And my 3rd colleague, Alan, worked with students collecting recyclable trash and turning those items into musical instruments and creating music about the rainforest. For almost 2 weeks, we all worked independently in our classrooms with our students. The students couldn't really grasp how all this was going to come together. And to be honest, I don't think we knew that exactly either. The final week, we had each group show the other groups what they had created. So the poetry group, the music group, the dance group. And then we put students into groups of 3. One was a poem, one was the music, and one was the dance. And we told them to explore and experiment, putting them all together. Now, the thing that made this work was that we told the students There was no right way or wrong way. Just work together, and whatever you come up with is doable. It's fine. Without prolonging this story longer, we brought the students together and we took pieces of what each group came up with and we blended it into a show they eventually performed for their parents and the community. I like thinking about this experience often because it reminds me of how the singular and the collective are interconnected, and that true integration requires dismantling the artificial hierarchies and barriers created by society and those in our own minds. Galatians 3:28 reads, "There is neither Jew nor Gentile, slave nor free, nor is there male and female, for all are one in the Christ." Now, when I use the word Christ there, I'm using it from a metaphysical interpretation as the, the eternal divine idea or divine mind, the Christ consciousness that dwells in every human being. I want to make that distinction in case some of us get lost in the Christ part and just don't hear the actual message. So I wanted to clarify that. It's easy to happen. Zen Buddhism views individuality, monologue, and the interconnectedness, dialogue, not as opposites, not in terms of duality, but as the same reality seen from different sides. We are each distinct, unique expressions of life, and yet we do not exist separate from and are not dependent on all other expressions of life. We are interconnected, so the web is so tight that we can't do anything really in life without someone. Someone dreamed up that chair you're sitting in. Someone figured out how to make this so I could see the words. We can't do anything. Somebody made the road that we drove on. Somebody had the idea to make the road that we drove on. Yeah, we can't really do anything in our lives without other people. This famous spiritual parable I'm going to share with you, I probably first read in a book by Alan Watts many years ago. I believe it comes from maybe either Sufi or Hindu teachings. High above the sea, a tiny raindrop named Asha fell from a storm cloud. Looking down at the vast, roaring expanse of the ocean, she panicked. She admired her unique crystalline shape, and she thought, I'm too small. When I hit that giant water, I will be smashed into nothing and die. She screamed, trying to desperately hold on to herself, weeping for the loss of her identity. The wind heard her cries and whispered, "You have it backward. You are not a drop trying to join the ocean. You are the ocean itself, temporarily shaped like a drop. Let go." Asha closed her eyes and plunged into the waves. There was no pain, no destruction. Instead, her boundaries vanished. She felt the deep sea currents and the sunlit waves and the vast trenches. She had not disappeared. She was still there, but she was no longer just a drop. She was the entire ocean. The metaphor of the drop and the ocean maps beautifully onto communication, contrasting the isolation of monologue with the vastness of dialogue. A monologue is a little bit like a raindrop, stubbornly clinging to its individual form. It is driven by one ego, one perspective, often one rigid goal. It talks at the world, desperate to protect its personal narrative, isolated and fragile. Oh my God, don't we do that sometimes? Cut ourselves off, cut ourselves off from the surrounding environment, isolate from the people in our lives. Dialogue is the drop plunging into the sea, where individual boundaries dissolve into a collective current, the ocean, the all there is, the divine mind. To engage in dialogue, we must let go of the need to control the outcome. Just like those students I worked with were involved in creating together without expectation, without judgment of themselves or each other. We just told them whatever it is you come up with is good. It's all good. No single wave or drop owns the ocean. In dialogue, the conversation becomes a living thing that belongs to everyone. The ocean is everyone. Our spiritual practice can shift our inner state from monologue to dialogue. Instead of a loud, anxious voice dominating our mind, monologue, we can open to a wider awareness, dialogue, and start listening to our body, our breath, the connection to the world around us, realizing that we are part of a massive, ongoing, cosmic conversation. You know, I've been thinking a lot this week about the dear young man, Jason Arday, the youngest Black British professor at the University of Cambridge, who recently resigned amidst allegations of plagiarism. And then, following the public humiliation and constant taunting in the media and on social media, tragically took his own life this week. I posted something about this on my Facebook page and how very sad that loss of life was. I wrote, quote, "All of us at some point go through challenges and difficulties in our lives, and sometimes from our own doing. It could be out of limited understanding and awareness, or from frustrations of life piling up, or the burdensome shame we often feel. When something like this happens to someone, it is so tragic. And I can't help but wonder if maybe there's a lesson for the rest of us, a lesson in coming together, sharing each other's journey. The dialogue of our collective lives is how we learn empathy, compassion, and grace. And why do we need to learn empathy, compassion, and grace? Well, because that is how we discover our own being. That is how we survive." Unquote. My dear friend, Dr. Marcus Robinson, some of you may remember him when he lived here in Rochester, commented on my post, and I'd like to share with you what he said. I asked his permission to use his words in my lesson today. He wrote, quote, "Empathy isn't the consolation prize. It's the corrective. Grace isn't the afterthought. It's the resistance. And compassion is the one thing that keeps the field of human when everything else tries to make it punitive. And you're right, Tommy." He knows me as Tommy. "The lesson is how we hold each other, not how we punish each other." Unquote. This spiritual journey we create together won't be without friction, harsh realities at times, and frustration as we learn ways to move onward. We can do it. We have it in us to do it, to be it. We can, as Jesus taught, reflect the oneness that comes from opening to love's light. When we are open to the light around us, we are open to the light within us. Breaking free from the ego's prison requires us to learn the sacred art of emptying our cup to listen. True dialogue cannot exist without intentional silence, a quietness of mind that allows us to receive the world as it truly is, rather than how we demand it to be for our wants. When we quiet our inner noise of monologue, we begin to tune into a subtle, beautiful frequency that has been broadcasting all along. The flow of the life force, the voice of God speaking to us, through us, as us, can be someone right in front of us, and usually is. We hear the divine speaking not in thunderous proclamations, but through the very fabric of our current world, in the crazy state that it's in. In this moment, life speaks to us through both the heavy headlines of global fractures and the quiet, awe-inspiring celestial alignment of a solar eclipse. Listening means acknowledging both the painful global friction and the cosmic beauty as part of the same profound message coming to us, coming through us, coming as us. We don't have and won't have all the answers, but wisdom, awakening, lives in the spaces between us and the world around us. By paying absolute attention to the present moment, we transform ordinary observation and listening into a form of sacred prayer. Once we have learned to listen, our lives naturally demand response. Dialogue is complete only when we answer back. This reply is not spoken in words per se, but is written through the daily currency of our actions, our choices, our attitudes towards one another. When life presents us with global and personal suffering, our response can be compassion. When it gifts us with wonder, our reply can be gratitude. We must cease to react blindly from our internal monologue of destructive mental worrying, that self-blaming, rumination, and instead begin to co-create with divine mind, turning every moment into a seamless, improvised dance where our movements match the rhythm of our partner. To respond to life in this way is to act with intentionality, recognizing our choices are never made in a vacuum. We're connected. Somebody made your dress. Somebody made the fingernails. Somebody made everything. We're all so connected. Every act of forgiveness, every step of resilience, every extension of kindness become our contribution to the sacred conversation, proving that we are active participants in a living, breathing, ever-expansive divine conversation of consciousness. The Unity Church movement teaches that human connection is a fundamental spiritual reality rooted in the belief that God is present in everything and everyone, and that all people share a divine oneness. Connection with others is viewed as a direct reflection of our connection to the divine. True connection, the ultimate dialogue, is our divine. It moves past debate or simple information sharing into a contemplative space where hearts are open to transformation. It requires us radical acceptance, welcoming people across all backgrounds, races, beliefs, without rigid dogmas. Ultimately, the depth of our spiritual journey is measured by how deeply we choose to engage in this sacred exchange. When we lay down the exhausting burden of the ego's monologue, we open ourselves to a reality rich with connection and meaning. Life ceases to be a random series of events and becomes an ongoing conversation. One of the greatest gifts we can offer one another is to embrace each other right where we are, as we are, without expectation, without judgment. Conscious living is an exchange, and within that embrace is the support and the encouragement to step out of our isolated monologues and into the living, breathing chorus of creation. We don't have to wait for the world to change before we choose to extend the arm across the table. The long spoons are already in our hands. The banquet of life is already set before us. Every interaction, every quiet moment of listening, every act of grace toward a struggling neighbor is our opportunity to feed the other. And in so doing, finally nourish our own yearning spirit. Let us leave behind this quiet starvation of the ego. Let us leave behind the rigid demand to hold on our water droplet of existence, and instead plunge boldly into the vast ocean of divine connection. When we choose dialogue over monologue, empathy over judgment, love over isolation, we realize the ultimate truth. We were never separate to begin with. We were one voice in an eternal song. As seekers of truth, we recognize divine mind as an interconnected dialogue spanning this entire universe, shared across all life experience. As we learn and embrace that truth collectively in dialogue, that truth will set all of us free. And so it is. Amen. I believe we do the meditation hymn. Is that right? Let me get back over there. Wait a minute. The meditation hymn, I think the words will come up on the board up there. Yeah. It's a familiar tune, but I just changed the words so that it would fit what we were talking about today. Let's see here. Together on our what is it? Let us Please prepare ourselves for meditation. Close your eyes. Entering the silence is a foundational unity concept that transcends theology. It moves us beyond the head and into the heart, turning abstract belief into direct, felt communication with the living presence of the divine. Soften your gaze and close your eyes. Take a slow, deep, intentional breath through your nose. Slowly release it through your mouth. Once more, a slow, deep breath in. As you exhale, let go of the world outside this room. Release all concern about where you have been today or where you think you must go next. Meditation is not an escape from life, but an entering into the very source of life. Allow your body to feel completely supported by the chair, by the floor, by the energy around you in this room. Relax your shoulders. Feel the weight of your body settling into ease. Say quietly to yourself, I let go and I allow the peace of spirit to wash over me, to cleanse me in this moment. In this silence, we recognize the fundamental truth of our existence, that divine mind is absolute good and good everywhere present. That presence is not far from us. It is the very breath moving through our lungs right now. It is the person next to you. It is you. Feel the light of the divine centered within your own heart. With every inhale, acknowledge your unique beauty, your unique expression of life. With every exhale, release the need to hold on to the isolation of the ego. That quiet, anxious internal monologue that tells you that you are alone in this world. It is not so. Silence that inner noise because you are safe, you are held, you are whole. Shift your awareness outward. Bring to mind someone in your life, a loved one, a neighbor, or even a stranger you passed today. That connection is a direct reflection of our relationship with God. The spiritual spark that pulses within you is the exact same light that resides within every human being. Imagine reaching across the table of life, recognizing that you cannot Truly nourish your own soul until you reach to the other. As you behold this person in your mind's eye, silently affirm, the Christ within me honors and sees the Christ within you. You are worthy of grace, of love, of understanding. Feel those boundaries of separation dissolve like a single raindrop returning to the vast, undivided ocean. Take another slow, deep breath, expanding yourself with gratitude. When we choose empathy over judgment and love over isolation, we step into the shared symphony of life. Carry this awareness with you as you move into the silence. As you prepare to return your attention to the room around you, remember that every act of kindness you extend is a form of self-love. Every moment of patient listening is a sacred prayer. When you are ready, gently move your fingers and toes. Bring your hands up to your heart space and open your eyes and behold the divine. And so it is. Amen. Please join me as part of an extension of that meditation and awareness as we speak the words of the prayer for protection to one another. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Offering, right?
So it's time for our offering today. We say the prayer, divine love flowing through me, blesses and multiplies all that I give and all that I receive, and I am grateful.
If just one person believes in you deep enough, strong enough, believes in you hard enough, long enough, Before you know it, someone else would think, if you can do it, I can do it. Making it two whole people who believe in you. And if two whole people believe in you, deep enough, strong enough, believe in you, hard enough, long enough, there's bound to be some other person who believes in making it a threesome, making it three. People you can say, believe in me. And if three whole people, why not four? If four whole people, why not more? And more, and more. When all those people believe in you, deep enough and strong enough, believe in you, hard enough, long enough, it stands to reason you yourself would start to see what everybody sees in you. And maybe even you can believe in you too.
So let us give thanks for the kindness, the generosity that comes forth from the hearts of people in this room and all members of our community. Let us give thanks to God for all of the blessings, all of the provision that comes to us in every moment of our lives, whether we're aware of it or not. Thank you. Amen. And so now we have so now we are going to have the announcements. But prior to that, one of our board members, Michael Kruger, has a message from the board that we have been debating about for a long time. And so we'd like to offer it to you today.
Good morning, everybody. As most of you know, my name is Michael Kruger. I am a member of the Board of Trustees here at Unity Rochester Spiritual Center. I also serve as the treasurer. I present the following message on behalf of the entire Board of Trustees here at Unity Rochester Spiritual Center. Shortly after the abrupt resignation and retirement of Reverend Barb Adams 2 months ago, we shared with you the Unity Ministries policy that had been adhered to in the past. The guidelines that were established began with the assumption that the minister would notify the membership of his or her intention to leave, and all concerned would have a chance to process and adjust to the idea of the minister's departure, to say goodbye, move forward with their individual need to heal, and the church could move in a smooth and healthy way through the period of transition. Because the usual time to process a minister's departure, in this case Reverend Barb's departure, was not made available, and because we respected Reverend Barb's need to leave as she did because she felt guided by Spirit that there was, quote, someone else to minister to immediately, myself, unquote. We made every effort we could to respond respectfully to members' questions about the motivation for the guidelines. We responded with patience and respect to others, or in respect to letters, some even filled with vindictiveness and attack. And we listened with compassion and understanding to those who shared their pain and grief with us. Recently, we have become aware that the Unity policy followed was not the most current version. Therefore, based on the revised Unity policy, members of Unity Rochester Spiritual Center and Reverend Barb may socialize, call, mail, meet with each other. However, the only caveat is that Unity Rochester Spiritual Center business should not be discussed, and that such communications should not occur on church grounds or at any church function. It has been suggested that we, the Board of Trustees of Unity Rochester Spiritual Center, intentionally failed in our responsibility to the members of our center by our lack of knowledge about the revised guidelines. Neither the center, our Unity liaison, nor any member of the board were ever made aware of the revised Unity policy until recently. It did not occur to us in the moment that it was necessary to look for a change in policy when we found ourselves faced with having to announce the news that Reverend Barb gave us notice of her immediate resignation and retirement, and had to inform you about the guidelines. We, along with all of you, regret any distress the former guidelines may have caused any of you. And we, like everyone here, wish Reverend Barb a grace-filled journey. It is our sincerest wish that we are now able to move forward with love and kindness during this transition. As part of that transition, we plan to set up a time in the near future to meet with all of you with the purpose of hearing ideas about what you would like to see happen with and at Unity Rochester Spiritual Center. This entire message will be posted in this week's weekly Unity Rochester Spiritual Center newsletter. Like many of you, all members of the Board of Trustees have been working through our own healing. After Reverend Barb's resignation, but for all the board members, we also have the responsibility to keep the day-to-day operations of our spiritual center moving forward. We strive to share with you everything, and you should know that any and all decisions that we make are made with the full membership at heart. Just like with the recent highly successful finance campaign, when all members of Unity Rochester Spiritual Center work together, not just the board, we can achieve amazing things. Thank you.
And I believe you understand and recognize that every one of us loves and respects and acknowledges the Christ divine in you. With every intention behind what we do, it is with the intention to love and to be an expression of that love. And we just trust that the intention of Unity Rochester Spiritual Center essentially has the same intention. So now, Larlene, where's Larlene? Oh, there you are. Before we go through the other announcements, she has an announcement to make.
Good morning. Are you ready to have fun? Yes. Are you ready to have food? Yes. Save the date, September 20th, Sunday, for our picnic. I just want to let you know that I'm working with a picnic team that's so awesome, and I'd like them to stand. Alicia, Beth Ann, Donna Lee, Daryl, John, to let you know that we are all working together to bring great fun and enthusiasm and excitement to this picnic. We have had gracious members to donate some tickets, so if you're experiencing a little something, please see me following the service. Thank you. Thank you, Marlene.
So the first announcement is the ice cream social after service. So welcome one and all. Come ready. And the meditation classes with Daryl on Tuesday nights. Daryl, do you have anything you want to say?
Love to see you.
Okay. And then the Saturday meditations with Catherine McIntyre V. And what else? Oh, the Unity World Day of Prayer is September 9th and 10th. And there's a sign-up sheet in the library or in the lobby for anyone who wants to do a prayer vigil. And the door will be open. No. On the 12th, yeah, that's when I turned my head. I thought I left something out. On the 10th, right, from 10 until 4. And there's a sign up out there.
That is for the 24-hour prayer.
People, I thought I was told people could sign up.
Yes, they can, absolutely, yes.
Okay. And then the prayer chaplains are always available after the service in here. And now, let there be peace.